Hello guys, and welcome to the ultimate interaction tutorial. So today we're going to be learning everything about interactions, and we're actually going to have a functional door and drawer system by the end of this tutorial. We've also got some objects that we're going to be using. So and we've also got I've also got a custom animation for you guys. So by the time we've actually created two examples of things that can be interacted with, you can basically make anything interactable. It's going to be a robust system where you can pretty much make anything interactable, like pickups and all that type of stuff. But it all runs off a line trace system, which is actually precise. So welcome to the very first live stream tutorial. So if you like these tutorials and courses, I've actually done a MetaHuman course recently. Let me know in the comments so I know to keep doing them. So what I want you to do first off is just download a third person project, and this is what you're going to have minus these objects here. And that's where the inode leveling. So in the description, you'll actually see this inode level prototyping. So go to Fab. It's free, and this is where our objects are going to be. Just so we've got a door example and a drawer example as well. So download that, and you'll actually have to create a project. And what I want you to do, it's very simple. We're just gonna, I think it's 4 objects. Yeah, 4 objects we're gonna migrate over, which is gonna be fairly quick, just so we've got some movable things. So anything can be interacted with, like a pickup or something. But also you can actually extend the like each interactable item to have movable doors or movable drawers. So this is going to be a complete interaction system, with animation and even door sounds. I've actually got we've got an open door sound, closed door sound, and a drawer sound. So everything's going to look and sound complete by the end of this tutorial. But you're also going to understand the basics of interactions and how to do that. And we're also going to build it into a component, so you can pretty much attach this interaction logic to any character. So what I want you to do is open this project and go to level prototyping, meshes, and then what I want you to do is go static mesh like that, go up to here. And we only need so many of these items. So we need that one. We need the chest of drawers, and where is it? So which ones should we be? So we need that. So we need this one, this one. So there's the drawers, and that one and that one. So just all we need is to highlight them. So what you do is, click on one, then hold down left control, and then click on the next one until you've only got these 4 items selected, and then right click on one and then go down to migrate, and it will literally only take those four meshes and the materials that it needs. So what I want you to do is go there and then go to your third person project, go into the content folder, and then migrate that over. And then you will actually have these objects, which will be in level prototyping, meshes, and you'll have these 2. So you've got the door and you've got the drawers like that. So and what I want you to do is just throw them in the level right like this. So there's the door frame, there's the door, I put it in place. There's the drawer frame and the 3 drawers. So these can actually come in and out. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to make an operational drawer. Just so I can give you an example. And we're also going to make a functional door, which will open and close accordingly. And also, wrong way. So it will open close like that. So what we need to do, let's just jump in game. Actually, I need to go back to here. Let's just make sure. So what you should be able to jump into the level. I'm hoping that's going to be good like that. sorry, I've actually got this on standalone game. Lucky it doesn't take that long to go in. So hopefully, let me just get out of that. You can't even get out of it. So what you want to do is just go to here just to make it easier, apply. And so there, so now you'll be at this stage. You'll have your objects and you have your third person project. And then what I want you to do is download the animation, which is on Google Drive. I'll put it on Google Drive for you. Shout out to Moat for this. This is one of the interaction animations I use for my prison game. But download that and then just create create a folder called interaction. We're just going to put everything for the interaction logic in here. And this is where, so what you got to do is you got to, once you download the animation, drag it in, and then scroll down until you see skeleton, and then choose the third person skeleton, and then you'll actually have this interaction animation. But what we need to do is we need to have build some upper body logic. But let's start from, you know, the beginning pretty much. So what we want is we want something to be interacted with. So let's see what do we mean by that. So we want to be able to, you know, interact with so that's an actual issue. Let's actually fix that. So these don't have what's it called? What is the go there? Okay, so these meshes need to be fixed. So we can go to here and go to meshes and go to doors. Hopefully we're going to be able to do this. So this one should only need just a box collision. Just do that like that. And then the door frame. Hopefully we can do the convex, auto convex collision. Hopefully it's going to work. But you can use your own meshes, but this is just so we got some meshes for the thing, so we can apply that. There we go. So what you're going to do is go to here, go to auto convex, and go down here and click apply, and then you'll have collision for that. So now when we go in game, we're not gonna you know, go through it. So yeah, the draws and that should be good. So you know what? Let's go into here and let's do this as well. This really only needs to be a box collision. You can go to remove collision and go to simplify box collision like that. And then these can be pretty much a box collision as well. So remove collision, box collision. So that's just so you're not going to go through it and all that type of stuff. Okay, so what do we want? We want an interaction system. We want to be able to pretty much, so the player wants to be able to come up to here, you know, and sort of, and the way we're going to do it is a line trace system, which is pretty much, imagine a line in the middle of the screen going straight forward, and it's pretty much wherever the middle of the screen is what the player wants to interact with. So that's what we're going to do. But the first thing we need to do is we need to put some offset onto the character. So go to the third person character. We need to put some offset just so it looks it sort of makes sense. So go to the camera boom, and we can put a socket offset. Yeah, I believe the socket offset. Let's go. I think it's 90. You go like that, and then minus 70. No, 70. All right. So go 90 there and 70 there, and now it should offset the camera a bit. So that now the middle of the screen is sort of like there. So you're able to. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to create the UI for the interaction system. So the first thing we want to do is we can do it all pretty much in here. So interaction, we can go in here and go to UI. Go to here, go down to user interface, widget blueprint, and we'll call this the interact HUD. The interact HUD. So there we can go to here and go to canvas. What I like to do is just go like this, just so it's like that. So there's the canvas panel. And now what we want, what we can do is actually we can do an image. And this is going to be the crosshair, or the dot in the middle of the screen, pretty much. So we can go to the middle of the screen, and we can center that out. Go 0.5 on that, and a 0.5 on this. That puts it directly in the center. Let's go with I think it's a 64 by 64. Let's just actually, it's got to be much smaller than that actually. Brush, and then we can go to draw as rounded box. Outline settings, add a 2, I believe, to it, and then make sure it's fully black like that. So let's just quickly create we can go into we can actually put this logic into the actual component. 1 second, guys. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to put all this logic into a component. So we can go into Blueprint class, actor components, and go to AC and call this interact. So this is going to be the component that you can attach to pretty much any character. So what we can do is go get owner like that, and then we can do cast to character. These are already loaded onto memory, so it's not as bad as casting to a hard reference. So we can promote that to a variable. We'll just call that character, and we're also going to need the mesh. So we can go to mesh like this and promote that to a variable and just call that the mesh. All right, so now what we want to do is we want to be able to, let's just do a custom event and call create interact HUD. We can go to create widget. We can also go to like this controller, get controller. We can go like this, and then we can go and is valid. And if it's not valid, we can do a delay until next tick. And then we should be able to cast to player controller. I'll just quickly clean this up. All right, and we can promote that to a variable and call this player controller. Like that. And then at the end here, we can do create interact HUD and just call that custom event. And we can do player controller. We can do widget blueprint interact HUD. We can promote this to a variable, so we got it, and call this the interact HUD. Okay, and then we can just do add to viewport. So now we should, we actually have to go to the third person character and add, click on here and then go to AC interact. So now we've added the components. So now we should see a dot in the middle of the screen. That's way too big. So we need to make this much smaller, probably a 5 by 5. What's going on? Okay, size 32. So 5 by 5. See what that looks like. We just want pretty much a dot in the middle of the screen. It needs to be 3 times the size of that. So we can get rid of this. We can get rid of all these. So we want to just do a 15. We just want a nice little dot in the middle of the screen. So 10. Okay. We're going to go 7. We're doing a 7. Okay. But we do a 1 width on that. Okay, we've got a nice little dot in the middle of the screen. So now we know exactly what now that the player can actually see what they're interacting with. So there's our first step. So now we want to actually now send an actual line trace down the center of the screen, so we can go into our interaction component. We'll come back to this UI, but we'll go back to our interaction component. And what we want, we can do this in a function actually, and call this scan for interactables. We can do that, but then what we need to do is go to the event graph, and after we create the HUD, we can set timer by function name, and make sure you copy and paste that into here so it's the exact same thing. So now this will be getting called 0.2 is a good number, and it must be looping. So there we go. Now this function is going to get called. 0.2 is like almost nearly 4 times or 5 times a second. And I think 0.2 is a good number. But this is where it becomes very precise. So instead of doing a line trace by channel, what we're going to do is we're going to do a sphere. So this is where we can make it very precise. So a sphere trace by channel. Let's get this type of logic. We need a certain component. I can do it here actually. So let's quickly. Okay, so we need to come out of here. So we need the get component by class, or or maybe get component by tag. All right. So we need to go into the third person character. We need to get this component, which is a camera component. So click on the follow camera and go tag, component tags, and put this in camera. And put that tag for camera. And now what you want to do is get that, which is can we do camera component? Here, camera component. Get components by tag. See, I don't want to do the hard reference. Well, there's literally going to be one of these. So just get a copy of the first one. So that this is going to be the camera components. So now we can promote that to a variable and call this camera component. And put that there like that. So now we've got the camera component. Now we know where the camera is, which is essentially the center of the screen. So if we done a line trace down the center of the screen from where the camera's position is, and also because we're third person, the only thing that's going to change if this is first person is the length of the line trace. So obviously the third person camera is way back behind the character. But I'll show you pretty much the good numbers for both. So now we've got the camera components. We can actually get the world location. So this is where the camera is actually at. That's where we want it to start. And let's go like this. So we can go, what is it? Get world location, and then we, I think it's like this. Oh, that's all right. Multiply. And this is where we right click there and go to float, and this can be promoted to a variable. For I think what is it? It's 150. I think is the small one. I think 150. But what we'll do is we'll just do 150 there. You can promote that to a variable and call this the line trace distance. So it should be 150 like that. And then what you want to do is add this, because now this is saying, you know, from the world location, but from the world location and then this far ahead of it, that's where we want it to end. So now we can go like this and put that into the end. And this radius, make it 15. Just trust me on that one. And we'll do line trace debug for duration. So now we should be able to start seeing a sphere trace. Why is 15 too big? What? Okay. So this is what should be happening on your end. But what? What? Okay. This camera component is obviously off. You know what? We're going to go like this. Instead of this camera component, we're going to go like this. So this character, we're going to do cast to BP third person character. Promote that to a variable called third person character. You know, no, we're not. Let's just go back. I'm pretty sure I'm just going to get the same issue. I'm pretty sure the issue's in here. So scan for interactables. We want the camera component. Let's make sure this is actually the camera component. Get component by class. Get components by class. Hopefully we can do this camera. That's going to be the camera component. Hopefully that's going to be logical. So the world location. Oh wait, no, that's right. We're gonna get the forward vector. We're gonna get the forward vector. So which way it's facing forward, and then we want it to go 150, and then that, and then we add it to the actual world location like that. That's what it's meant to be. Yeah, and 150 is not enough. Make the line trace 250. And why is it 1? Oh, that's right. 15. Make it 15. Okay. Oh, the camera's very back, so we have to. It's at least double. It needs to be doubled. So a good number for this would be 500. If you yeah. So what you just want to be able to it just needs to be able to be hitting the ground Like if you get close enough. So you look, that's close enough. That's close enough. So 500 is a good number. So if we go to here, then we want to pick something up off the ground, we can. We'd have to be right next to it to be able to do it. So there we go. That's good. So now we can just quickly. Now we can turn that off. But visibility channel. So this is where we can. Okay. What we want to do is this is true if there was a hit. So if there was a hit, we want to break this. And now what we can do is like print string like this. And just to see that it's actually happening, we can just do the display name of that. But this can be, or has interface. This is where we're going to create the interface. So we'll go to our interaction. We'll go to here. We'll go blueprint interface, and call this interact. So what the only one we really need is interact. And now we have to start making the interact logic. So interact, or we'll just call these interactables. Go like that, and inside interactables we'll make another thing, we'll call this base. Now we'll create a blueprint actor, we'll call this a blueprint base interactable, just like that. So we want to go straight to the class settings, implemented interface, blueprint interface, interact. So now we actually have an interact that we can call pretty much on all the classes. So there's a base interactable, what we want it to be, right? So the base interactable, which will be pretty much anything, you can make, your pickup will be a class of this. But what we're going to have is a static mesh. So we, each static mesh, and then you want to drag it onto the root. And this is going to be the static mesh. We'll just call that the static mesh, all right? So you can make any mesh interactable. Let's just, maybe it's that, it's our base interactable. We can get rid of that. So now we've got our base interactable like this with our interface. So now what we're going to do is we're going to create these now. So this, let's grab that position, copy, and then delete whatever it is, which is the frame. And then we can go like this, right click on that, go to child class and go to BP door, like that, and then drag this into the interactables folder. So now you got the basic in its own little folder. So now we go into the door. So this is going to be door frame, which is level prototyping meshes doors. So that's going to be, obviously the first mesh, but we can actually add things onto this. So we can go to another mesh called static mesh like this, like on there, and then call this the door mesh. All right, and then we can do this door left, I believe it is. Yep. And obviously we need to move this over. It'll be pretty obvious once it's in place, type of thing. I think that's good. So now we've got See, now this can actually go like this. Look, now, we can, make this the interactable mesh. Oh, wait, actually, go into the base interactable. Oh no, this is what we're meant to be doing. Okay. So now we've got our door. Now we could theoretically copy that, delete that, and then drag the door in and just paste like that. So there's our door. So if we go like this, 90, our door will be open. And then we can go to minus 90 and then 0 there with it like that. All right. All right. So wait, which way is the door opening? Let's go like this, 90, minus 90. All right, yeah, that's the way we want it. And now let's make the drawer, which is, let's go to the door, let's 0 that out. So we can probably duplicate this and call this the BP drawer. So this is going to be a lot different actually. So here's the main static mesh, which is going to be the drawer, chest of drawers. And then the door mesh, we can just remove the door mesh. So there we got that. So now what we can do is go to the mesh, furniture, drawers, go into the drawer and go add drawer like that. So we'll call this drawer 1. Duplicate drawer 2, duplicate drawer 3. So 1 I think is in place. 2 is good, and 3 is the one that's going to be operational. So we know that we need to, for the drawer to open, we can go, 25. Oh, it would actually be anything actually, yeah. So, all right. So there we go. Now we can probably get rid of this. Go that, copy this, throw that out. We can go into our interactables drawer, paste 90. There we go. There's our interactables now. So what we can do actually, so we don't really need to worry about them right now. We've got our interactables. We want to go into our interact here. And now we can go has interface. What's it called? Implements. Does object implement interface? So what we want to do, make another branch. And then if it is true, it should print the screen once we interact with it. So there we go. There's the door. There's the drawer. So now, but what we need is we need some information to come up and actually say that, door open or door close like this. So yeah, it's working good. So now we need to upgrade the UI, and the way we can do it is just, this can be we'll call this the crosshair or the dot, whatever. And in the canvas panel, we can do a border. And what we want to do is we want to anchor it to the center. We can, I think it's 1, is it? No, -1. -1 and then -1 or 1. What, who cares? We'll just go 0.5, 0.5. 250, I believe it is, or is it 50? Just do 50 by -50, or 100 by -50. So there we can go like that. So now we've got a border. What we can do is we can go straight to the brush, or the brush color, and make it black with a 0.7 on that. Now what we would need is a vertical box inside there, and then inside the vertical box we're going to have an image. No, we can't have an image. We'll have 2 texts. Just do that and then duplicate, but go to the border and call this the interact info, make it a variable, and then make sure it's sized to content. So this can be, we can just make it say like E. Like that, and this can be center as well. And this can be like action. So we can do different types of actions like this. So font 20, make it a 12. Like that. So let's just do it like that. So now when we interact with something, it should say like that, you know, E action, or E open, E close. So, you know, to press E to, like, you can get real fancy with how it looks and all that type of stuff. Let's go to info. This is like 50. -50 by 50. Is it? Oh no. What the hell was that? It was 100. Not that. This can be 0 actually. 0, 0, and put 50 on this. So there we go. Then you'll know to open and close it, obviously, but this now needs to have a render opacity to 0. And then what you want to do is go to animations down here, add an animation, call this toggle interact info. We can add that and go to the interact info. How do we add something to this? What's going on here? This has changed in 0.8, I believe. Oh, that's right. You go there and do render opacity. Leave it at 0. Go to 0.25 like that. Add a mark like that and do 1 like that. Boom. So we can have like that. So it will show, close. Okay. So now when we join, we shouldn't see anything, but we should see our little drawer, things like that. But now we want to go into the acting component, and this is where the fun stuff, happens. Let's do that. So we can go here, right click here and do promote to a variable and call this the interact actor. Like that. So if they've actually hit something and it's an interactable thing, we'll set the actual interact actor. How we meant to do this? That's right. We can do the interact actor like this. Right click and go to convert to validated get. So if they've actually hit something that's interactable, and this is not valid, then we set it. like this. If you're wondering how I've done that, go like that, and then left control, and then click on whatever you want to line it up to, and then press Q, and it will line them up. So there's that. And then so if it's not valid, we want to do that. But if it is valid, we want to see if it is valid and it does not equal the actual act. It's like a new actor. They've actually clicked on something else. We want to go like this. This is just so they're able to, you know, move around and interact with multiple different things. So if it's not the same, then we set it again, which is this, like that. That's how we want that to happen. And now what we want to do is we want to do the validator get for that. And then if if they've pointing at something else that is not meant to, if they haven't hit anything, or they've hit something that's not interactable and it's actually valid, then we want to set this to the is valid, invalid, like that. So that should be good like that. I believe that's going to be good. Let's just, maybe we can go like this so it looks a little bit more obvious. All right. So I think that's going to be good. Okay. Hello, okay. All right, so now this is where we do the magic. What we want to do is this on a custom event? No, this is a function. All right, what we want to do is go to interact HUD. Then we want to do interact info. Get toggle interact info. That's what we want to do. Play animation forward. So we want to, we also action types. We can do an action type. Okay. We can go into here and we can just do right click, blueprint, enumerator, E, and call this interact types. So we can do door, draw. This is so you can keep tab of it too, but we can just convert that to a string and actually use the enums for that. But the interaction types needs to go into the base interactable. Make it a variable called interact type. Make it instance editable and expose on spawn. Make this the E interact types. E interact types. Instance editable, expose on spawn. We can probably go like this. Do none, and then drag that to the top. Just so the base interactable is none. And then we can go like this. We could go interact type is a door. Interact type is a drawer. So that's what we want, but we want to go into the interaction UI now. What we want to change is, here's the, we'll call this the button text. That's obviously the button. It doesn't need to be a variable, but this we'll call the action text, but this has to be a variable. This is what we're changing. So what we need to do, we need to go into that and do the interact text, action text, sorry, and then do set text you know what, we're going to need to extend the blueprint interface. So go to the blueprint interface and do get interactable. Get interactable, and on the output we'll put in the interactable. Do interactable like that, and do this the base interactable. So now inside the base interactable, we can do the get interactable and do self like that. So now in here, get interactable. And now we can do interact type. Do this to string. And this will just drag it in here for a to text. So we want to update the action text to it, and then we want to play it forward. Play the animation forward. But if we go to here, we want to play animation in reverse. So now that should be good. It should work now. This needs to go, drag the HUD into there. So hopefully it's going to actually work now. Okay. This logic's not logicking. Okay. Why does it keep showing it? It should be firing here. Okay. Okay. So E door, E draw. Okay, so this is not working here. So if they don't hit nothing, if it is valid, actually, that's what's the problem here. I should be able to move this over now. Now it should work. So nothing, draw, door, draw, door. So there we go. Now we've got our interactable actor to be able to do interact. It's called the interact on. So now we've got this. We have to make a new input, I believe. Go to input, go to actions, just duplicate jump and call it interact. Don't open that. Open up the defaults and add the interact. And then click on that and do E. That's what our interact's going to be. So now in here, we've got an event graph, right? What I like to do is add an input graph, just so I can leave all the inputs in its own little graph like that. And now we can do interact like this. And then if this is valid, we can go like that and do it again and do convert to validated get, put that into the started. Then if it's valid, we can print string. So we can just go like this. If it's valid, interacted. So now when we go like that, we can press E and bang, we've interacted with it, right? So then we can call functions for whatever we want to happen in here. So we can go to our interaction, interactables, door, and we can go to interact and bang. So whatever we want in the door, we can go like this, print string. Door opened. Door opened / closed. So we can go like that. And we can pretty much just copy this over into the drawers. Like that. Drawer. Like that. So now opens to close like this. And now when we go up to the interactable, we can press E and we've interacted with it. But it's only sending a text, but this is where the magic happens, the things open. So we want a -90 on the door. So let's start focusing on the door. So what we want to do is create a timeline. Scroll all the way down and do add timeline and call this the door. So in the interact, we've got to make a is open variable like that. So we can go like this and do not boolean. This is just a way to flip the result and do the is open set. So this is the new result. It's just flipping it. So if it's true, to be false. If it's false, it'll be true. And then we can go. We can determine if it's actually opening or closing. So play from start like that, and then we can do reverse from end like that. And then we can double click on this. We can add a track, do a float track, and call this toggle door. Right click here, go add a keyframe, make that 0 like that, and then just right click anywhere here, add another one, and do 1 and 1. So this is the length needs to be 1 second. So like that, and then what we want to do is click on that, hold left control, click on that other one, then right click and go to auto like that. So now we should have, now we can lerp this, but you want to drag it out of the A and put it into the alpha. So close is that, and open is -90, and this is on the door. So we want to do this and do set relative rotation. Do this on the updates. And what you want to do is split the struct spin, and it's on the Z. That's how it will open and close the door. So now theoretically, when we interact, we should open and close the door. There won't be any sounds though, or any character interactions, but we should actually be able to toggle the door. That's right. We haven't done that. We need to go to here. So if this is valid, do interact message. So now it should actually work. See that? 1 second. And I don't know why. Like -90. What's that? Let's just do -90 times 4 or something. I don't know why this is. We can go like this and do that symbol and do 4 -360. So that should be 90 degrees, like at least. You might have that issue on the end, but maybe not. So there we go. We can open and close the door. See that? And what we can do is we can add interaction. We can do interactables. We can go like this and just do audio. audio in the interaction folder, go like this, and this is where we download our sounds. We can just go like that, but we need to convert each one to a sound cue, which will be down here in Unreal Engine 5.8 and 5.7, I believe. Create sound cue, create sound cue, create sound cue. Okay, so we want door opening. So let's close and open. All right. So for the door, when it's opening, we need to open it. Put the open. We can play sound at location. You'll have to multicast this if you want it to be replicated. We can do door opening. We can do get actor location. And this is where it's going to be. And then we can have a closing sound. Oh, that's right. We do the closing sound here. On the finished. Door closed. Okay. So now we should have sounds. Let's maybe just clean this up quickly for you. So there we go. Now we should have sounds. Okay. So we've got to go to the door, and we need to we only want to do this if it's actually closing. So if this is closed, branch, if it's closing like that, we will need to go like that. So now it only play once if it's actually closing. See that? See that? Now we've got a functional, interactable thing. But this is obviously draw, open, close. So now let's actually add the animation. But we need to do upper body. Well, we can pretty much go into the interaction. Do this as animations. Drag the animation into here. Right click, go to animation, animation montage. Do the third person character, animation montage, and call this interact. What we want to do is open it and drag that in here. There, but what we want to do is we want to put this on the slot, on the upper body slot. Then you want to close it and then just open this up again. And there we go, there's our upper body. Because we're going to split, so there can be upper bodies, just so you can be walking while, because actually, okay, if I put this to default, I'll be able to explain it. So default slot. So what we can do now is on the door, we can go to here. So each time there is an actual interact, we can do an play montage on the mesh. Animation montage, interact. So there we go. So now when we interact, we should actually have a, see, he actually opens his hand. But see how like when you press it, like see how his legs are, their legs are sort of getting stuck like that. We can fix that by adding some upper some upper body animation logic into the character. So we can go to characters, mannequins, animes, unarmed. So we've been going for 1 hour exactly, not too bad. So we've learned a lot so far. Pretty much got everything working. So we want to go into here, and what we want to do is drag this up here. We'll drag that here, and then do catch, and do save new catch pose, and we'll call this full body. So let's do that like that. So there we have full body, and then we can do full body, use catch pose full body. And like if we compile without that, it'll be broken. But if we go like this, we can do that. So this is the default slot. So this can be, actually we need to get this animation montage and put this into the upper body slot. Like that. So, all right, so there's the default slot. So we can go like this. Now what we want to do is do blend, no, layered blend per bone. So here's the base pose. Layered blend per bone. We want to go into here, go into the layer, into the index, add one, and do spine 0, 1, and add 1 to that, and leave that as 1 there, like that. So now we see, as you can see, the upper body's now been so now we can do upper body montages on the upper body like this. So if we go like this, grab this, change it to the upper body, drag that in there, and now we should be able to use this again like that and have that in the upper body like that. So now we've got upper and body logic, but the important thing is that we can interact but also walk at the same time. See? So you can see, so the interaction is just happening on the top of body. But yeah, so that's how we got that. So there's our door, interactable door, very nice. And now we can pretty much do the exact same thing for the drawer. We can theoretically just copy all this over, except that. So interact. I need to create that. We need to create that. This can be drawer sound. The draw sound, but we only need to have one. So we can play this for all possible events. So we can go like this and probably just put it here so it's easier. This should be the draw sound, yeah. And then we can just do play from start, reverse from end. That's right. We need to work out which draw this one's going to come out. It's at 0 on this coordinate, I believe. We want it to come out 20. We want it to make it 20. So 20. But this is on the third draw. We want to set relative location. Just the location like that. And we want to right click this. And we want it to be on, it was the Y, I believe, yeah. So now the draw should work the exact same way, but have a draw sound. There we go. It's opening, is it? It's gone the wrong way. Ah, interesting. Okay. Oh, okay. There's a position here. 54. 54 on the Z and 0 on that. So there. So now this should actually work properly. So that's like opening and closing the drawer. And obviously it needs to times 4 the amount. We can go times 4. So there we go. We got, so like, you could have something pop up like a menu or something, to have an inventory in there, and this can be a container, you know what I mean? And then you can close the inventory like that, or you can just open up like this, or you can just have a base interactable like this. Like you, or all you got to do to have like a pickup is just right click on that, create a class, and do pickup, and then bang, you'll have this mesh there, and that's your pickup mesh. But all you do is inside the pickup mesh, you make the physics work and all that type of stuff. But there we go. There's pretty much a basic interaction system. You know what I mean? Nothing too serious, nothing too, too complex, but there's two interactable things like doors, and you can just build upon this and have anything that's interactable type of thing. But that's pretty much where we are. So how did you guys enjoy this live stream? Well, this tutorial live stream, this is the first tutorial base. The MetaHuman was technically a course, so I might be doing a third course for the MetaHuman course. So if you like these tutorials and courses, let me know in the comments, guys, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace.